Have you seen my episode 1 on demystifying science and art of estimations? If you haven't, you want to take a pause and go watch that video. In episode 1, I explored how the work has changed over several years, how the current work is so different from what we used to do 100 years ago. Episode 1 is going to give you a very good context to understand what is the biggest problem in estimating today's work: the variance. In this video, we are going to talk about the variance and where is this variance coming from when we are estimating the work in the current world. By end of the video, you would have a good clarity on what are the different types of variance we are dealing with and how that is going to affect the estimations. Whenever you have to do estimations, are you feeling confused or clueless? Maybe you are throwing a number in a vacuum. You are not alone. Most of the people feel that way. And that is the nature of estimating the work in the current world because of so much of unknowns. And that's what we call variance. I'm going to talk about 6 different types of variance which affect the estimations. The first variance we are going to talk about is why variance. Why is the purpose? Why are we doing something? For example, your company decided to build a product. Why? What problem are they trying to solve? Maybe they want to solve a problem in healthcare industry. But what problem are they really trying to solve? Is it for patients? Is it for doctors? Or is it for administrative staff? The variance and the purpose is probably not directly seen at the time of estimating the work at the ground level. It depends on the situation. Imagine you work for a startup and every morning your CEO wakes up and gets a new idea. In highly dynamic environments or highly innovative or groundbreaking products, the direction can keep changing. But that variance is at the vision level, like which direction the organization needs to go. And a lot of times people on the ground probably don't care about it. That is a job of the leaders of the organizations and product owners and product managers. They need to work through and figure out iteratively to understand what is the purpose. Then we come to the what variance. Assuming we know what problem we are trying to solve, that means we understand our purpose. Then what is the business solution? What features we need to deliver? And how much of that each feature is important at what point of time? This is exactly what product owners do in Scrum teams by understanding what should go into the product backlog, what should be the next product goal, and also figuring out what is the most important piece in every backlog item that need to be delivered to get closer to the bigger vision. So that is the what variance. The what variance is going to affect the project level or the product level, may not be again at the ground level. So this could be one of the reasons why the backlog items keep changing all the time. How much of each backlog item is important? Then comes how variance. How is the solution variance? So now that we know what we need to build, how are we going to build it? What technology to use? What architecture to use? What design? And that is going to affect how much time it is going to take. Then comes who variance. Who is working on that feature? If a junior person works on it, it is going to take longer. A senior person works on it, it can take shorter time. If the group of people are working on, because of the team dynamics, also the emotions and the personality, the working styles of the team members, how much time it is going to take can vary. Now we'll come to when variance. When is this work is going to be done? Under what conditions? What timelines? Are we under tight pressure that can affect the performance? That is going to push the people to deliver faster, is going to lead to some defects that can take things much longer. There is a lot of uncertainty. Timing also creates a lot of variance. Now comes a where. A variance. The where is like in what kind of organizations we are working on. If there is an organization that has a lot of overheads, heavy process, the cultural issues, politics, or governance issues. Imagine there is a policy, something like performance appraisal based on the bell curve, which is anti-agile practice. People may get demotivated during the performance appraisal period because only one person gets 5 out of 5 and remaining people don't. So these are the 6 different types of variances that can affect how much time a work can take. The why variance is about purpose. The what variance is about what features to deliver to meet a purpose. And the how is the solution, what kind of solution is going to help us achieve the what need to be delivered. and who is going to work on it, and at what time, and in under what conditions, in which organizational culture, and the governance. So these are the 6 dimensions that can affect the variance. To give you a simple example, imagine you want to go on a vacation. Why do you want to go on a vacation? Is it for fun, or is it for entertainment, or is it for maybe educational, or you want to go to historical places? Unless you know what is the purpose of your vacation, you don't know how to design everything else. So now you decided where you want to go, then what are the places you want to see within that city? That could be what variance. So how are you going to go from A to B? Are you going to take a train? Are you going to buy a flight or bus? Which way are you going to go? That could be how variance. Let's say you want to drive from your city to the place where you are going. Which route are you going to take? And how the conditions of the road on that day. Is it going to rain? Is the road you are taking is a highway, or it has a lot of bumps? And who's going to drive the car? There are so many different variances in the current world, whereas in the industrial age 100 years ago, there wasn't as many variances. For example, people used to go and work in factories. The work is low skilled and the factory conditions are very stable. They used to do the same work again and again for several years. Variances used to be something like 5%. But today, how much is this variance? Can you even comprehend? That's exactly what creates so much of confusion when you are doing the estimations. Rather than talking about so many different variances, I am going to put them into 3 categories. The first category is the what work we need to do. That is the what variance. And who is going to work on? That is the who variance. And everything else I am going to put in third bucket is a contextual variance. So we have what variance, who variance, and a contextual variance. What is the work, who is going to do, and in what conditions they are going to do. If we reduce the variance, our estimations could be more reliable. And we need to look for the opportunities to how to reduce the variance. The what variance could be reduced by having a better clarity on what needs to be delivered. And the who variance can be reduced by keeping the same team together for a long period. Once these 2 variances are taken care, and creating a stable organizational environment is the key for making the estimations to be more reliable. If your team is estimating a task which is going to be done by one person, maybe 4 to 8 hours. If they have to build one feature, 3 or 4 people are working on it, it could be 1 to 2 weeks. If the team is working on a project where entire team is involved and there are a lot of third parties and dependencies involved, the project can take anywhere between 6 to 9 months. If you notice, if the work item is smaller, the variance is less. As the work item is getting bigger, the variance is going to be wider. So it is not a cumulative. For example, a feature has 10 tasks and the variances are not just additive, they are actually multiples. That means the total variance at the feature level is going to be non-linear, it is exponential. The variance at the project level is going to be much higher. It's not proportionate. So it is always a good idea to break the bigger item into smaller items so that we can reduce the variance. And also, while we are breaking the items into smaller, we can estimate them better. Our goal is to reduce the variance at different levels so that our estimations are somewhat reliable. Now that we know how much variance we are dealing with, now the next question is, how are we going to estimate when we have this variance? That is going to be my episode 3, which is going to come out soon. I'm helping individuals, teams, and organizations on how to deliver value to the customer in VUCA world. If you're liking my videos, please spread the word and subscribe to the channel so that when my next video is ready, we'll let you know. If you want a video on a specific topic, leave a comment so that I can make one in future. I'll see you in episode 3.